was a massive, massive victory for the massive man from Huntley. And he takes on the German Maik Langendorf here, who surprisingly finds himself in the last 16 of a Pro Tour event for the very first time in his career. Now, Maik Langendorf first played a PDC Pro Tour event back in 2007. That was a couple of years after winning at a soft tip World Championship.
60.
He has been around for a number of years, Maik Langendorf, but this is his first full year playing the PDC Tour. He won his tour card at Q School this year as Hendo fires in a ton 40. But it's not as if he's been pulling up any trees, and he is the man responsible for knocking out the number 2 seed Michael Smith in his board final. He beat him 6-5 here today. It was over on one of the boards that wasn't streamed, so I couldn't tell you how that game progressed. But Michael Smith has been playing some phenomenal darts of late. He's just had a call up to compete in the World Series. And so that is a huge, huge victory for Maik Langendorf. Now, we
57.
know that there's a new World Series event that's been added to the calendar quite recently that's going to be taking place in Dusseldorf in Germany later on this year, as Hendo looks downstairs for the 19s and has to settle for 99 score to leave 62. And the top 2 ranked players from Germany will make it through automatically. The other 6 German players will have to come through qualifiers. Now, at the moment, that's Max Hopp and Martin Schindler. Maik Langendorf's the only one who can catch her. Oh, well, is it going to be... What does he fancy? 7 for tops? Another 15? It's 7 for tops. It is his favourite double. And it's right in the middle for Hendo. It's 1-0. Yeah, Maik Langendorf, theoretically, I mean, if he did have just a mad weekend here and picked up some serious, serious
85.
money, he could reel in Martin Schindler and nick that second qualifying spot and find himself playing in the World Series late this year without having to go through qualifiers and relegate Schindler. But he's got to beat John Henderson, and Hendo 1-0 up, fires in his first 180. If he does get going, John Henderson, he can play some fabulous darts. Remember him making the Euro Tour final a couple of years ago in Munich, only beaten at his siding leg by Michael van Gerwen in that final. Still searching for a first PDC title, John Henderson. Oh, and he was searching for a 6th perfect dart. It's just drifted in to the treble 5. How many times today on this board have we seen players go 4 and 5 perfect darts into the 9?
35. $100.
86 remain for John Henderson. Langendorf is going to be well placed. Oh, look at this. Oh, what a setup shot from Maik Langendorf. Leaves himself double 18, but it's the 18s that Henderson is looking at now. Hits the treble, double 16.
Game shot.
Oh, fantastic. 11 darter from John Henderson. Wonderful stuff. And Hendo doubles his lead. 2-0, break of throw, throwing for a 3-0 lead here. And Langendorf, there's not a great deal you can do about that. After he just put in a flawless setup shot, Langendorf sees it count for absolutely nothing. There you can see the scores filtering
60.
through. We are down to the last 16 stages of this tournament. Or the last 16 stage of this tournament, I should say. Last 16 stage. Mickey Mansell is through. He takes on Kyle Anderson. Devon Peterson is up against the Welshman Johnny Clayton. Johnny Clayton, a man who is chasing a spot in Blackpool at the World Match Play. Darren Webster, a man who averaged 120 against Paul Nicholson in smashing up the former Players' Championship Finals winner. 6-0 in Euro Tour qualifying last night. He's through, waiting to find out his opponent. Alan Norris and Steve Lennon clash. We saw Steve Lennon on this board earlier on today. Steve Lennon firing in a grand total of 5 180s in just 7 legs. But it's John Henderson who's in charge here. Stays up there. That's the sensible decision.
83.
That's a loose start from Hendo. Just the 83 scored, leaves him 78. Ryan Searle, another player we've seen on this board, is in his board final.
60.
Well, 2 darts missed from Henderson, but it's not the end of the world because Langendorf isn't even down to a finish as yet.
100.
He's on one now, but double 12 for Hendo for 3-0.
Game shot.
Yeah, right in the middle of the bed, and the Scotsman is in charge of this one. 3-0 to John Henderson.
100.
He's a man who, Gary Anderson, the world number 2 and back-to-back world champion, rates much, much higher than John Henderson's
93.
world ranking suggests. Hendo just outside the top 32 in the world rankings, but Gary Anderson says when this man is on form, there
91.
are few better. He is a big scorer, John Henderson, hits a lot of 180s. When all that rocking motion that he has, the distinctive throwing action that he's got, when it's all in sync.
134.
Deadly on double top when on form as well, John Henderson.
55.
Just the 55 for Maik Langendorf, and Henderson a real chance to steal the darts, which he is jumping all over. Big Hendo.
135.
Again, he just strays with the last dart into the treble 5, but a 135 gets him down to a finish. Langendorf's going to be on 1-2. Oh, hang on.
85.
Well, he's okay. He's okay. Leaves the 170. 139 is not going to go. Can he put a dent in it? Oh, well, that's an
33.
absolute horror show of a visit for John Henderson there. Just the 33 scored. It's on. No longer.
98.
72 is no gimme, though. And Henderson quite capable of taking out the 106, even after a poor visit last time out. It certainly is now. 6 for tops. Double top.
66.
One dart missed by John Henderson at his favourite double. It would have been a ton plus checkout, but he may still get more darts at double top because Langendorf, which route does he go? He goes to 16s, another one of those for double top. One dart at it, just as Henderson got.
Game
but
shot.
Langendorf does not miss. He gets on the board. John Henderson not going to have things all his own way, but he is still
100.
holding all the aces right now. 3-1 up, halfway to a place in the quarterfinals. Did have that run on the European Tour to the quarterfinals,
100.
but the quarterfinal stage has completely eluded him on the Pro Tour prior to that. Certainly this year, and for the back end of last year, it was September the last time he had
60.
a run to the quarterfinals or beyond. On that day, John Henderson made the semi-finals, only beaten 6-4 by Michael van Gerwen, beat the likes of Kim Huybrechts, Christian Kist,
41.
Darren Webster along the way, John Henderson. Looking to fill it up again,
180.
and does do. 180 number 2. Down to a finish. John Henderson
140.
started the day with a 6-3 win over Ryan Meikle. He followed it up with a 6-2 victory over Chris Quantock, and the board final was one against Richard North, the mouth of the South, 6-4.
58.
North was the man who knocked out the top seed on that board, Steve West, seeded 15. Henderson, the 18th seed today. Langendorf would love a maximum to leave tops.
180.
And that's exactly what he's got. It's a perfect setup shot for Maik Langendorf, his first maximum. Henderson couldn't take out the 106 earlier on. He could take out the 103, but he
71.
needed the double 16. And for the second leg running, John Henderson misses a dart at a double for a big combination finish.
Game
And
shot.
Langendorf punishes him. It's a break back. It's 3-2. And Maik Langendorf, after being under the cosh for the first three and a half legs of this one, is making Hendo think.
95.
They have met once before, these two, and it was very, very recently. John Henderson, in March this year.
180.
Oh, it's another one for Hendo. 180 number 3. Yeah, he absolutely dominated that game in the third Players' Championship event of the year. John Henderson winning it.
100.
It was a first round match, 6-1 against Langendorf. Already doubled his legs tally from that match, Maik
100.
Langendorf. Oh, it's lovely stuff for
114
Maik
score.
Langendorf, this.
139.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. 139 from Maik Langendorf gets him down to a finish. Henderson should get to a finish himself,
60.
but it's not much better than the 167. If you may think it's no better, may think it's worse.
93.
Needed that treble to go in, Henderson.
100.
61 left. Langendorf gets a go at 74 before that. Treble 14. Now 20 for tops.
Gate
And
shot.
there it is, Maik Langendorf. It is fantastic finishing from Maik Langendorf. Takes out the 74. Last three legs have all been won by the German. Every single one of them on double top.
82.
And Langendorf, if he's been finishing like this all day, you can understand
60.
how he could have knocked out the number 2 seed here today, Michael Smith. A man who has won a Euro Tour event this year and was beaten in the final of another.
100.
Only narrowly as well by Michael van Gerwen.
$100.
Oh, just the 26 scored by John Henderson. Is this an opportunity for Langendorf? Is it one he can take?
100.
Just a ton. He hasn't really jumped all over it.
$100. 100.
Langendorf down to a finish first on the Henderson throw.
$83.
Great last start from John Henderson, moving over to the left to find his way through to the treble 20. It leaves him 110. That's a one treble finish. He's missed 106 and 103 in this match, but Langendorf could take out the 141.
117.
Oh, and he misses just outside. It was almost majestic from Langendorf. It would have made it 4 legs on the spin and put him into the lead. And now Henderson cannot afford to miss. Double top. Oh, and once again, for the 3rd time in this match, Henderson misses a dart at a double for a 3-figure checkout. And Langendorf makes him pay. It's 4 legs on the spin, and this is a stunning fight back from the German. A man who has not reached this stage of a Pro Tour event before in his career, and he's had plenty of opportunities to do so. Even though he hasn't played the full tour, he's played lots of Pro Tour events, particularly when they've been taking place in Europe over the years. But he could be about to
84.
book his place in the quarter-finals.
$57.
Joe Cullen or Justin Piper still playing their board final. The winner of that will face Ryan Searle in the last 16. That is the match that will produce
58.
the opponent for whoever comes through this one. And right now, it is far too difficult to say who that's going to be. But Maik Langendorf has won 4 legs on the spin. And his finishing has been excellent.
$96.
This could be a game changer. Needed another treble 20.
100.
As it is, he should get 2 darts at double two, unless Langendorf can take out 150. And he could do it. Needed another treble 19.
101.
Tops. Oh,
16.
John Henderson. It has been a tale of missed doubles. They've not been huge batches of doubles, handfuls and handfuls of darts. It's just been 2 darts here, a dart there, a dart and another leg.
No.
Oh, but now it's Langendorf's turn to miss darts. He has barely done that in this game. when he has had checkouts and he's had a go
Game
at the
shot.
double, he's usually taken it out. But Henderson does break back. He does stop the rot. He does pin double top. And Henderson goes back as favourite for this match. Was that the wobble? Was that the chance that Maik Langendorf had to exploit in this game?
140. 60. 85. 100.
Maik Langendorf starts not only have those very thin points that make the dart wobble like a cartoon dart, but they actually make a sort of cartoon arrow noise.
81.
When they land in. Like the sort of darts
134.
Wile E. Coyote would throw. Made by Acme. Well, there's the 5, Hendo.
45.
Just the 45. Now, this is an opportunity.
$100.
And he's taken it to an extent. Maik Langendorf, barring that last leg, his finishing has been superb. You cannot afford to give him goes at anything. If he gets one dart at a double, he's been liable to take it out.
45.
And once again, it's just a 45 from Henderson. A real opportunity now for Maik Langendorf. Oh, needed the treble 16 to get a dart at tops.
51.
Henderson, can he finally take out one of these 100+ checkouts? Treble 15. No, he can't do it. Doesn't give himself a dart at a double.
45.
It's been the double that had let him down in the previous ones, those 10+ checkouts. Langendorf 16 for tops to turn this game on its head once more.
16.
Oh, and just at the end of the game, Langendorf's clinical finishing has deserted him for the second leg running. He's missed 2 darts at double top, and Henderson looking to punish him. He gets 2 darts at tops. And Hendo does not miss with the last one. It's 5-4. The Scotsman back into the lead. John Henderson was 3-0 up in this game and 4-3 down. He survived a couple of darts that would have made it 5-3 to his German opponent. But since then, Henderson has just been doing enough. Coupled with Langendorf starting to miss doubles,
77.
it may mean that John Henderson is destined for his second quarter-final appearance in the last 2 ranking events.
59.
He did come through the qualifiers last night for the European Tour, did Big Hendo. He beat Andy Jenkins in a deciding leg in the deciding match.
100.
Henderson had earlier beaten Richie Burnett in a deciding leg, so he's been battle-hardened over the last 24 hours as John Henderson. He's won some grueling encounters.
140.
This would certainly rank amongst them, because Langendorf is not lying down, but Hendo looking for 180 number 4.
125.
And again, he finds himself just straying over to the left-hand side with his final dart.
180.
Langendorf produces his second 180, though. And that leaves him 62 to take us all the way to an 11th and deciding leg. Maik Langendorf fighting it out for a
46.
place in a PDC ranking quarter-final for the first time in his career. Are we going all the way? Double 10. Double 5.
52.
2 more darts missed at double by Maik Langendorf. Henderson looks at the 153. This is not an easy one. But it's on.
121.
Well, you cannot fault the setup shot from Big Hendo. He leaves himself double 16, but he may not get a go at it. That's got to be a good guide. Yeah, lovely stuff. You could hear it clip the barrel. It is 5-all. We are going all the way. Bump of the fists. And John Henderson has the throw in this deciding leg. Can he make it count? Can he stop Maik Langendorf's dream run? Langendorf has already dumped out the number 2 seed here today. The number 1 seed, Simon
60.
Whitlock, had already been beaten earlier on in the day. So Michael Smith was actually the highest seed left in the competition when Langendorf beat him in the last round.
100.
And he gets his nose in front. It's just a 40-point lead. But where are the trebles, Big Hendo?
57.
Where are the trebles? 6 starts without one. Oh, Langendorf's got them all.
83.
That's better. That's a lot better. A
180.
response from the Highlander, and his 4th 180. He pulls it out in a deciding leg, and he desperately needed it.
58.
Oh. Hendo.
180.
Hendo, back to back. Phenomenal. 6 darts without a treble, 6 darts, every single one of them in the treble 20, and it means John Henderson gets match darts. He leaves himself
140.
double 12 to edge out Maik Langendorf, who is sat on a finish, but will he get a go at the Shanghai? No, he will not. John Henderson closes it out. Back-to-back ton 80s, swung it for the big man, the Highlander, through to the quarterfinals. It's another Big Hendo weekendo.